Sweet aftertaste. So that's hui gan. Or is it? Hey everyone, I'm Siggy, and I'm back with the next entry in the PU'ER TEA LEXICON series. I'm sorry for the slight delay. As you can see from the background and whatnot, there have been a couple of changes. My recording area changed, and I was a bit busy with writing my bachelor's thesis, which is luckily over now, so I am back in action, back on camera, here to continue the series I started, I think like over 6 months ago by now. And today, I am here to talk about hui gan. It's often mentioned as an important characteristic of good pu'er tea. The base level understanding of it, as kind of showcased in the intro, is that it's some kind of sweet aftertaste. But this sort of simple surface appearance hides a much deeper and more interesting meaning. To get closer to that meaning, we first need to disseminate the word a bit. It consists of two parts. The first one is hui, which means to circle, to go back, to turn around, to answer, to return, or to revolve. It's also a classifier for the acts of a play or the chapters of a book. So, hui doesn't necessarily just mean return, but I also want to highlight the meaning of answer and the way it's used to go from one chapter or act to the next. The second part of the word is gan, which at a surface level means sweet. But for a simple, sugary kind of sweetness, the word tian would be used. In other words, there must be a bit more to gan than a simple sweet flavor. So let's take a closer look at it. Gan is said to be found in things like ginseng, licorice root, or bitter melon. It is also found in kuding cha, which is made from the Chinese privet plant. Looking at these different things kind of indicates that gan requires the presence of something bitter. Something starts as bitter and ends as sweet. So in that sense, the use of the word gan indicates a transformation, a motion, or a change of some sort. This particular sort of transformative understanding of gan is also reflected in the famous four-letter idiom ku jin gan lai. Bitterness finishes, sweetness begins, that originated from Wang Shifu's Romance of the Western Chamber. A love story about a young scholar and the daughter of a chief minister of the Tang court. They face a number of hardships before they can finally be happy together. Gan is a more abstract sweetness that comes as a reward after hardship. It's not just a sweet flavor creeping up from the back of your throat, but also the end of a story. On the one hand, gan is the final stop a good tea takes on its journey through your mouth. On the other hand, The existence of that journey is what constructs the possibility for gun in the first place. There is no gun without transformation. And much like gun has transformed the bitterness that came before it, it also transforms what comes after it. When you experience gun, be it from tea or from any of the other things I mentioned before, take a sip of water and savor its sweetness. Experience how gun has transformed the water you drink afterwards. As such, hui gan is another term that can't be linked to a fixed point within the pu'er drinking experience. It's the transformation that takes shape in a tea's afterimage. Like with other terminology surrounding pu'er tea, there's also an aspect of time to it. Good tea demands proper focus and enough time. Hui gan comes as a reward for patient drinking. It's usually translated as returning sweetness because of the way it tends to come up from your throat. But given its transformative nature, it could also be understood as the tea's answer to being swallowed, or even as the final act that the tea's performance has been leading up to. I hope that this brief explanation could give you a deeper insight into what stands behind the meaning of a word like hui gan, and how you can apply that to your own drinking experience. I'll be back next month with another entry in the PU'ER TEA LEXICON. There's still a lot to go over, but yeah, that was hui gan, and I hope we'll see each other next time. Cheers.